So yes, that's me squinting into the camera. So welcome to my channel. This time I'm in Mexico City, and thanks for joining me at Space. Now, Mexico City was so busy, but I actually didn't have a lot of time to be a tourist. So this will be a really short video showing the places that I did enjoy, and that's some of the walking tour that I did. And here's a little bit more if you want to jump in and catch up on what I did in Mexico City. So those that follow my channel know that when I arrive in a city, it's good to get a good idea of the layout of it, etc. So I usually use Guru to do a free walking tour, and that's exactly what I did here. He was a very enthusiastic guy, had a lot of history, and was able to share the background with us, which we enjoyed. So I was wondering what happened to the city. I thought maybe another earthquake, but no, it was invaded and the colonials destroyed every building and built their buildings on top. And that's what we see now. And those ruins were under old houses. So they had to destroy those houses and relocate the residents. We've had a short walk to a square just behind that main square, and this one actually used to be part of the university. This building here was all part of the university, and then it got taken over by people who would do scribing work for those who couldn't read or write. And now it's actually lots of separate little print shops, and if you want documents, they can make them for you. Yes. All sorts of documents, read between the lines. So this is a 17th century church, this one, at the end of that square where I just was. And inside the church it was actually really, really beautiful and lovely to look up and see all those windows. But one thing that really interested me, you don't see it in this shot, but in the next one, all the cracks in the floor, because Mexico City is actually built on a lake. So this is by a local artist. She's done a lot of work around Mexico City. She's currently 94. This is the Palace of Fine Arts. And my walking tour actually finished here, and I spent a little bit of time just wandering in Mexico City. But unfortunately, as per my last video, I did get my phone stolen in Santiago in Chile, so I did have to spend some time going to sort that out, but I had a good night and ready to start a new day. So another day in bright, sunny and warm Mexico City. So last night I stayed in the hotel. I decided to book into the hotel, the same one that I'm going to be meeting for the tour group that I'm travelling with, and more about that later. And where I am now is outside Frida Kahlo's museum. So come on the journey with me through Frida Kahlo's museum. I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as I did. So from a young age, Frida had challenges. She had polio when she was 6, and then at 18 she was hit by a streetcar and severely injured. So a lot of her time was spent in bed, and she actually continued to paint while she was in bed. Her mother fitted a mirror above her bed so she could do self-portraits, and a lot of her artwork portrayed that, her injuries, her physical injuries. This is a bit of a kitchen here. The house that this museum is in was her house that she shared with her husband Diego. most unusual Uber ride because normally we don't go very fast. We go from traffic light to traffic light. So in this area next to the Frida Kahlo Museum, it's really pretty and there's some beautiful old buildings. Museum that I've come to now is affiliated with the Frida Kahlo Museum. I think it's more the architecture of her husband Diego, so it's included in the ticket, so I thought I'd give it a go. Although it takes nearly as long to get here in a Uber because of the traffic, then possibly I'll spend here, but we shall see. So I've just got up to the 4th floor, which is actually the roof, and this very kind lady moved out of my way. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, it's such an awesome building. Ah. And it's looking back down to the huge courtyard area, and they do have displays down there sometimes. And then back across to Mexico City, and look at all the green. There is surprisingly a lot of trees, and yes, I think I may have mentioned it already, but if I haven't, the jacaranda makes me feel quite at home. I've just spent probably, I don't know, an hour or so in here, and it just keeps getting better and better. And yeah, I've just got to show you these though, because the glazing and the work in them is just amazing. Have a look at this. Now, unfortunately, I don't know actually how old all these pieces are, obviously over a big time period, but they varied hugely.
They're certainly pre-Columbian.
There you go, the gentleman behind me says pre-Columbian, so go do your research is what I say. So I still haven't found anything about this actual building and the history of it, so that's just gorgeous. So just looking through a few of the doors, there's a lot of classrooms here, and I think it's still a art education facility. There was some children, they were using crowns and pencils, and there was some adults with computers and some other paintwork. So yeah, it's a very active complex, as well as that amazing building with all the artifacts in it. Well, after that wonderful day, I got an Uber back to the hotel because I was meeting up with the group that I was going to travel with. So I'd booked some tours with the Intrepid Travel Company, and Mexico was just my first country in Central America, and here's some glimpses of what I saw just around Mexico City and a little bit beyond. But there will be more videos, and I'll try and post them regularly as I travel. The first day I went out and we had lunch with some of the group, and here they are. We also on the next day went into a canal. But thanks for being here, thanks for watching, and bye for now.